Hello, brothers and sisters. It is Tuesday, the 24th of September. It's just gone 7 p.m. UK time, and you'll have to forgive my voice. I've lost my voice. I was preaching with Brother James in London yesterday, and my voice is not used to uh, being used as much, certainly not as much as Brother James's is. So I've got a croaky voice, and you'll have to just bear with me. Fortunately, I'm not sick. It's just an overused voice. So let's go over this. It's as I mentioned, Tuesday 24th, 7 days away from the Israeli elections that happened a week ago, and there seems to be have been a major shift in the approach as far as the government is concerned. So here we can see on the 19th of September, Gantz outright refused to form a unity government with Benjamin Netanyahu. This was only a few days ago, and it says Benny Gantz, the leader of the Blue and White Party, has rejected an offer by the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to join forces. And this is confirmed. Gantz rejects joining Israeli coalition with Netanyahu as PM. So there's all this power shifting as we were expecting, and an outright refusal to join a coalition. Then on the 22nd, US Special Envoy Jason Greenblatt met with President Rivlin. And as you can see here in the Jerusalem Post, it says, it is suspected that the not yet public details of the US peace plan might be relevant to the creation of a unity government. So Jason Greenblatt came to meet the president and also Benjamin Netanyahu to discuss the peace plan. It says U.S. envoy Jason Greenblatt met with the president on Sunday ahead of the president holding a round of talks with party leaders to decide who will be tasked with forming a new government after the recent round of elections. Greenblatt, who is one of the key players behind the U.S. peace plan, often called the deal of the century, had already met with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and said he would like to meet with Blue and White leader Benny Gantz. And then again, it is suspected that not yet details of the U.S. plan might be relevant to the creation of a unity government. So here we see Gantz, before this meeting, taking the opinion that he absolutely will not form a unity government. And then the next day, when the talks occur, in this very meeting, he changes his opinion completely, and they seem prepared to form a unity government. So here's the question: what changed? What was it that was said in this meeting that suddenly turned Gantz from being dead set on being prime minister and not forming a unity government and pushing through with the power struggle to completely doing a 180-degree turn and being prepared to form a coalition government with Netanyahu? What could it possibly be that Jason Greenblatt and what he divulged to the president, and subsequently the president divulged to Benny Gantz, is what caused this unity government to be formed? Jason Greenblatt resigned from the peace deal of the century for some reason, as we know. And whatever it was discussed with Rivlin, the president, and this meeting changed the whole of the political dynamics. So what is the possibility that the very thing that Jason Greenblatt came to speak to President Rivlin about the day before was the deciding factor in this coalition agreement, which was being formed? Okay, so I find it curious that there was a complete about turn, and that they are forming a. It looks to be that they are forming a unity government, which will still not have an official prime minister, because they'll probably look to share the prime minister power in a power sharing agreement. So with that in mind, there's some more information which has come out about Rabbi Kaduri, which is very interesting. You'll know that he said that there was going to be a period of no government, even after the election, and they didn't understand how that was going to work. But there's even more information which has come out now, so I'm going to go dive into Kaduri a bit more. This is breaking Israel news. This was yesterday. Multiple Jewish sources point to Israel's election impasse as the gateway to the Messiah. After a source close to Rabbi Kaduri cited a 40-year-old prediction by the now deceased Rabbi Kaduri predicting Israel's current political impasse, several other prophetic sources, some more credible than others, were discovered confirming this prediction. So more information has come out about what was said by Kaduri. One indicates that the election stalemate will lead to a heavenly battle that will decide the fate of all mankind. In June, Breaking Israel News published the article citing a 40-year-old prediction that the most famous Kabbalistic mystic in Israel, this was Yitzhak Kaduri. So this guy was one of the, or if not the most profound and prolific Orthodox Jewish rabbi in Israel. And here you can see who he is. This is him, this old fellow. And here you can see pictures of his funeral, which was attended by something like 300,000 people. Okay, so this guy was incredibly well respected. And of course, this was the guy that left the note of the Messiah. And when they opened it a year later, after he wrote it, it said Yeshua. So I'm going to get into that a little bit, but let's just go over this article. So he said, according to the eyewitness, Rabbi Kaduri predicted the Messiah will be revealed following an election stalemate in Israel. That's what's happening at the moment. At a small gathering, Rabbi Kaduri was asked when the Moshiach, the Messiah, will come. He answered, when there will be elections, but there will be no government. And that's right now. That prediction is more powerful after the second round of elections held last week leave both major parties struggling to form a coalition government. An article on Israel Hayom in the Hebrew language news service confirmed Kaduri's prediction and added even more details. It was reported on Monday that a book was found in the yeshiva by Nahalet Yitzhak, founded in Jerusalem by Rabbi Kaduri's son. And Rabbi Kaduri, with a focus on the study of Kabbalah mysticism, the book titled, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, was written by Kaduri when he was quite young and hidden away. In the book, there is a startling section which reads, on the eve of the fifth cycle of 1,000 years, the year 5780 is a year of fixing. That's the year that's just about to come up. That's the year that Rosh Hashanah we're going to go into, 5780. We're in 5799 at the moment. There will be no government in Israel for an extended period, and the different camps will fight and argue a great deal without any conclusion in this way or the other. Then on Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year will be next Sunday evening. The side of holiness will battle the side of darkness in heaven until God himself and his host will decide the issue. That sounds like Michael made war with the dragon, okay? Revelation 12. And this is all I can say about the matter, Rabbi Kaduri wrote. I've been sworn not to reveal any more secrets. Okay, so the article quotes an interview with an anonymous Moshe, the assistant to Kaduri, Rabbi Yitzhak Kaduri's grandson, Yossi Kaduri, okay? So I'll put this in the description of the video, and you can read this all yourself. There are some other things which they talk about here, that there are other prophecies and predictions which are being revealed, and of course we'll find out if those are true very, very shortly. But there's another one that says, that talks about them being two Benjamins being in power, but neither of them will rule. So that is over here. Let me read that. It says that the prediction is also reported to have been brought in an ancient book written by Rabbi Sasson, who was called the prophet from Egypt. There will come a day when two ministers from the kingdom of Israel will be victorious. Both of them will be named Benjamin, and neither will succeed in establishing his government and kingdom. Benjamin Netanyahu, Benny Gantz. On that day, you will know and understand that the king of Moshiach is already standing at the door. already standing at the door, and on the Shabbat following this, he will be revealed. Jesus says, I am the door, right? The judge standeth at the door. That's what it says in the book of James, chapter 5. So it says, realize and remember this. So all these incredibly fascinating predictions and prophecies are coming out, and only time will tell if they are true. But I think that it's pretty awesome that that this is happening right now, and it's happening according to what this Rabbi Kaduri has written. So they're all paying attention to this. You need to understand that Netanyahu will know about this. Benny Gantz will know about this. President Rivlin will know about this. They will know about what Rabbi Kaduri's predictions, and this will be what all the people in Israel understand now, that this is happening. This is a very, very popular site, and it has also been published in the Jerusalem Post. Here you can see, was Netanyahu Gantz impasse predicted in Mystic's hidden manuscript. This is the Jerusalem Post. Also, this was today, and it's also been published in Sputnik News. Kabbalistic mystic rabbi predicted Bibi Gantz showdown would end in politicians fighting in heaven. So this has been published all over the place, globally. This has been published. And Kaduri, the name Kaduri, his first name is Yitzhak, which is obviously Isaac, which is to laugh. And Kaduri means global. So his prophecies at the moment are certainly going global. And obviously we'll see what happens. But looking at the one that they'll all ignore is the main one, right? So they are all fascinated by Rabbi Kaduri's predictions and prophecies, but this was the note, as I'm sure you'll probably have heard of him, that Rabbi Kaduri left behind to be read 1 year after he died. So he told his students, and I'm reading this book, I'm gobbling this book up at the moment, where Rabbi Kaduri didn't just leave a note, he actually told his students as well that he had met the Messiah and that Yeshua was the Messiah. And he has some students that were that listened to him when he was alive that still believe that Yeshua is the Messiah. So he died and left this note, and this note was to be opened 1 year after he died. And when they opened this note and followed his instructions according to his wishes, they published it on his website, and it was up there for a couple of weeks until they realized that it was an acrostic letter. So it takes the first letters. If you take the first letters, what it actually says, I'll read it for you. What it actually says is, the letter itself in Hebrew says, concerning the letter abbreviation of the Messiah's name. So he wrote there, concerning the letter abbreviation of the Messiah's name, he will lift up and prove that his word and law are valid. Right? So you can't tell me that some Jewish mystical rabbi is talking about the rapture of the church there. He will lift up the people and prove that his word and law are valid. So if that is construed by a Jewish rabbi about the rapture of the church, lifting it up and proving by that means, that fits in with Romans 11:25, that Israel is blind until the coming in of the Gentiles, until the fullness of the Gentiles is fulfilled. Okay, he will lift up the people and prove that his word and law are valid. This I have signed in the month of mercy, Messiah's name, Yitzhak Kaduri. So that is his message right there. Okay, and here, as you can see in the this is what was published on the site, and they took it down only when it was decrypted, but after people had taken screenshots of it. And as you can see, just like Pilate did with Inri when he put the letters above Jesus Christ's crucifix or the cross, okay, he put there, and it spelt out Yed Hu Vav He, with what Pilate put there. So these letters spell the name of Yeshua or Yehoshua. So this is the one. This is what Kaduri said. This was his main one that they all want to reject, but then they want to listen to the ones about the coming of the Messiah. So if this is the same man that told us who the Messiah is, that he met. He had a vision of Jesus and he met the Messiah. He left this note to be opened a year later. This is the same man that is saying that there was going to be an election, and there was not going to be a leader, and that is when this heavenly war was coming. So I don't know about you, but I'm really excited. Woohoo! And this is all happening as we speak. Rosh Hashanah is right around the corner, and I encourage you. This is I'll put everything in the description of the video, all these links. Okay, and one more thing. If we take when Rabbi Kaduri died, which was on the 28th of January 2006, and then we go to Rosh Hashanah 2019, and we go calculate duration, 4,993 days. Okay, so 7 days away from 5,000. 7 days away from 5,000, Rabbi Kaduri passed away. So there's 7 days there, right? So I think that's pretty incredible. 7 days from the day that Rabbi Kaduri died until Rosh Hashanah is 5,000. So I think that's pretty awesome. And we shall see if anything's going to happen. But okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I love you. Pray for my voice. Strong for Israel. See you in the sky.